Christmas drives in bright stars through the perilous light. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the more bursting in air, gave a roof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. See, we had some technical difficulties earlier. Thank you guys for sticking around. We have a few things we're going to talk about today. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Republicans, the Democrats, everyone in the United States, along with a few hecklers. I'm Robert Santos, and thank you for joining this week's edition of the Veterans Bench. So first and foremost, my son is still awake, so please excuse the, it sounds like it's banging, but believe it or not, I'm downstairs in my basement, and just the way our house is, you can be tippy-toeing, and you can hear it sounds like someone's storming. So thank you for joining. There is a lot to talk about today. So if you guys have an idea what you want to talk about, go ahead and chime in, but we're going to go ahead and discuss the first and foremost. It's this vaccine that is apparently being given to every individual out there, or soon to be given to everybody, but it's out there. People are taking it. People are live streaming themselves taking the vaccine. The needles look completely different than all the other needles. You see some big ones, some small ones. Kind of makes you wonder, what is it they're actually taking? Is it a regular insulin shot? Is it a normal flu shot? Is it a whatever vaccine? Or is it really the COVID vaccine? Or is it just some water? I don't buy it. I'm not taking that vaccine. I think it's way too early to take it. There's a lot of side effects that have not been properly documented. This vaccine has not been vetted, at least to my liking. Obviously, the CDC and the FDA, they're doing their approvals. They're doing their process, what they want to do. That's fine. That's all on them. If you choose that's what you want to do, hey, that's fine. Don't let me change your thought process whether or not that's what you want to do. However, for me, I'm not going to take anything unless I actually see what's going on. I think it's way too soon to go ahead and take this vaccine, especially for a vaccine that has a 1.8% death ratio, which is a heck of a lot lower than at least 80% of all the other viruses that are out there. I understand right now, I'm rounding. I'm going to round. We have about 17 million cases of people who are infected by the COVID and only 307,000 deaths. Now, yes, that's a lot of deaths. My heart does go out to all those individuals who lost a loved one. And I'm not negating the fact that someone lost their loved one or their friends. I get it. However, if masks work, why do we get our social distance? If mask and social distancing work, why do we need a vaccine? And you don't see them talking about how if you have the vaccine, you don't need a mask. I don't see anything official out there yet. It's kind of a little weary. So we're going to talk about Republicans, Democrats, and hecklers. That's our main topic today. If anyone follows me on Facebook, I have a personal page. I have a campaign page. This is already on my campaign page. Campaign for what? We don't know yet, but I want to keep my name out there. I want you all to know who I am, who it is that you're voting for whatever it is that I decide to actually run for. Now, that's my little one. What's up, Logan? That's my little one trying to get downstairs. So I think we're going to have a visitor here in a minute. This whole Republican Democrats, if anyone sees my post, I won't insult another individual for being a Democrat. Everyone knows I'm a Republican. Yes, there's a lot of crazy kook Democrats out there. Hey, we got some not so likable Republicans out there too. So who are we to judge one person just because they have a D next to their name? I know someone I work with who is a Democrat who did vote for President Trump. I know some Republicans who did not vote for President Trump and voted for Biden. I know some Republicans and Democrats who voted for the Libertarian, the JoJo is her name. You're not going to see me assault any one of them. I think it's disrespectful to do that. That's their opinion. That's the reason why we have elections. Now, yes, I do truly 150% believe this complete election was a complete fraud. It was a farce. There is fraud up the behind. And our elected officials are not doing what they need to do. However, I made a comment on one of my posts, and I'll read it verbatim. So let's go ahead and pop it on there so that way there's no misuse. We're going to explain this. This goes into play with some of the hecklers. All right. With everyone focusing on elections, we are forgetting other issues. Yes, I stand by our president and will fight this fraud of an election. I really will. However, by focusing all of our efforts on one issue, we are neglecting other important issues. Now, this right here is going two-sided. Some individuals aren't liking that comment too well, but however, I'm not going to sit there and lie to each and every single one of you. This is who I am. This is what I believe. I'm not saying this for the matter of we're not going to do anything. We need to fight for the president. We need to fight. There's a lot of frauds. We got video recordings. We got testimonies upon testimonies of individuals saying they were kicked out, that they were told to alter the ballots, do this, do that. Clearly, there's a lot of evidence out there. But we have to ask ourselves, where is it at right now? It's in our legislators' hands. There are avenues of approach that we can take as citizens. However, are we going to sit there and just jump the gun and not give our legislators a chance? Now, yes, I do not have faith that our legislators are even going to do what they can do to ensure that this election is actually corrected. It's not just because Trump lost. You know, if Trump lost legitimately, a lot of us would be pissed, but we'd be like, you know what? It was a fair election. Got it. However, this was not a fair election. We have ballots being pulled out from under the table. We have Republicans being kicked out of counting areas. It's against the law. It's a federal law. We have people being escorted. Now, some of the individuals who were asked to leave, you know what? Most of them I know is against the law. I'm drinking coffee, so I really need it. I've been up since 4. It's a farce, man. We all know it. We need to have faith in our elected officials. But some of the feedback I'm getting is, we'll go over these hecklers here and we'll talk about Democrats and Republicans in a second. I got called a moron. Sometimes I am. Let me see here. And by all means, definitely comment if you guys have an idea or an opinion. All right. I won't say names. You guys can read it if you want. Someone lost all faith in the elections. I actually have lost faith too. This needs to get corrected. If it's not corrected, it's pretty much setting a precedent for all of the elections out there. If this fraud gets whatever swept under the rug and it is brought to light, but if people aren't held accountable for pretty much violating the law, then this is going to happen again in 2 years, and every other 2 years it's going to happen. We definitely need to put a stop to it, and we definitely need the legislators to stand up and think worst case scenario. If you guys have listened to me before, I always plan for the worst and hope for the best. I hope things work out. I really, really do. And I trust our legislators. I want to trust that they are going to do what they need to do within the Constitution to ensure that this comes to light. However, we can't just jump the gun and start burning buildings. We're not going to do that. We're Republicans. We're above obviously our Democratic friends, opponents, whatever you want to call them. One person asked me, what's more important than the election? The election is important. If you guys do not understand that we need to give our elected officials a chance. The reason why I made that comment is because, yes, people are working on it. Let's start focusing on other issues. We're forgetting the fact that we got kids sleeping on the floor. We got poverty level rising. Youngstown's about to be the worst poverty city in the nation. We have crime going through the roof. We got a human trafficking issue that's going on. Our education is failing our kids. I don't think I've seen one child that is supposedly doing bad in school. With his online school, I go on my son Timothy's website and he goes to Gerard. I look at his homework assignments. I mean, my son's 12. He's in 6th grade. He just turned 12. He's in 6th grade. And it's like he's doing 4th grade homework. Looking at it, it's like, are you kidding me? These teachers are being not given the tools. And I don't blame the teachers. I blame our Department of Education. Not even the Board of Education, the department. They are failing our kids. They are dumbing down our kids. There is no accountability for our children when we're at work. Everyone says it's up to the parents. It is up to us to teach our kids. But when we have full-time jobs and we have to work and the childs are at home doing their homework, how do we know they're not Googling? They are. And I can tell you right now, my son is. So I see him reading a book, skimming through a book for an answer. You know, the question says, page 47, what was John wearing? Okay, well, he's just skimming, not actually reading the book and actually understanding the story and see what's going on. Those are the things that we need to get fixed. Making sure I'm not off track. All right. This is a little quick, little live stream, but I want people to know I am not going to change myself for anybody. This is who I am, and I want you all to vote for me when I decide whichever election I'm going on, for me and my beliefs and how I'm willing to fight for each and every single one of you. I would rather lose my next election being true to who I am than to win it by lying to each and every single one of you, like all these other people are. We're complaining about all these rhinos in office and all these legislators not doing anything. But why are we voting them in? The same people who are preaching, oh, they'll never do that. They'll never do that. We need to get this person in office. We need to get John Smith, Sally Sue, whoever in office. We need to go knock on doors. They're going to do everything they can. They're talking. They're great. They're giving a great speech. They're being an outstanding salesman. But as soon as they get in office, they ghost, they forget, they change their ways. That's what Tim Ryan did in 2002. That's what all these other officials are doing. Where are they at? Why aren't they speaking out? We have all these people who won the seat, and they're going to get sworn in, some on the 2nd, some on the 5th, some on the 12th, all over, depending on all sorts of levels. They're going to be sworn in. Where are they? What are their plans? What are they doing to ensure they're elected? Where are they? The ones who got reelected, where are they? We got Tim Ryan saying, hey, great job, guys. Great job, guys. Great job, guys. Not doing anything. He stopped his live streams. Where are all these individuals who lost their race, who claim they were going to continually be here for each and every single one of us and claim that they're going to fight for us? Where do they go? They're not doing anything. Why are we supporting these individuals? This is how we get into a situation that we're in now. That's the reason why this election has been the worst election in American history, is because we're allowing these people in office and we're falling for it because we think they're gods, because we think that they're celebrities. You realize that if we want an individual to come here and do a speech, we have to pay them. Jim Jordan, Devin Nunes, Cruz, whoever. If we want them to come to one of our dinners and do a speech, we got to pay them. There was one individual who came here and did a speech to one of the events here locally in Mahoney County. We had to pay him over $34,000. Plus give him a hotel and a limo and gummy bears and Reese peanut butter cups like he's a damn celebrity. Are you kidding me? We're their boss. We're calling them to come talk to us, and we're going to cater to them. We're going to give them. How about you guys try this? How about we all try this? When we go to work and your boss says, hey, can you come to my office real quick? You tell them, sure, it's going to be another $5,000. Make sure you have tea, a certain type. I want this much water, this much consistency. I want Reese's peanut butter cups. I want some gummy bears, or I'm not going to come talk to you. That's not how it works. I'm fed up. I'm tired. I'm sure each and every single one of you are too. We are fed up with this whole entire system. It's failing us. We need to remember the states are in charge of the federal government. We, the people, are in charge of the government. We need to step up, stop voting these individuals in office who do nothing, including the Republicans. Hold them accountable. I've been saying it since I started running my last election. We need to hold even ourselves, our Republicans, accountable for their actions. They're not all perfect. They'll make mistakes, but we need to hold them accountable, as I would hope each and every single one of you hold me accountable for what I say I'm going to do. And if I alter, put the boot in my ass. Yes, I said it. Remind me. If I plan on changing my stances, I would let you guys know why. Hey, maybe some new evidence came up. Who knows? And evidence is always coming up every day. I would let you guys know, hey, this is why. We're going to talk. I'd make sure it's a sound reason, for why. All right. I will never change my stance on the Second Amendment. I will never change my stance on abortion. I will never change my stance on illegal immigrants. I want that wall up. I'm okay with immigrants coming here to our country, but they need to do it the proper legal way, like our ancestors did. Randy, Trudy, Stephanie, Ralph, Art, thanks for joining. If I missed you guys, I apologize. Thank you for joining. We had some glitch. That's the reason why you might see two videos, but it's all up. That's what happens when you go live. At the end of this talk, there's a speech by an individual that I want you guys to actually just listen. Some of you have seen it before. But in his speech, he actually comments that the little things matter. That's where my posts come in. That's where I'm getting a lot of, I guess you can say, a lot of people heckling me on what I'm actually standing for. I do believe the president. I do believe the election was a fraud. I stand by him. I will help him and fight. But really ask yourself, what is it we can truly do at this second to help Trump become president? To get all of this fraud, the false votes, all these fraudulent votes, the people who allowed that to happen accountable. What can we do? Right now, it's in our legislators' hands. I hope Trump gets his way. I have faith in him. He's a smart man. I plan for the worst, guys. I mean, I really hope it goes in his favor. But if Biden's president, I mean, we're screwed either way if you think about it. Now, this is my honest opinion. If this gets reverted, it gets proved that, it has been proven. But if it goes through the Supreme Court again and it says, yes, these were fraudulent votes and it works out and it turns out the amount of votes were for Trump, not Biden, and Trump becomes president, guess what the Democrats are going to do? Not all of them, because not all Democrats are crazy psychopaths. They're going to start rioting. They're going to start burning half this country down. Now, I'm not saying let's just let Biden be president because we don't want this country to burn down. Hell no. We don't give an inch. We don't let him take a mile. But if Biden becomes president and he tries to destroy the very thing that Trump and everyone else has been working so hard to accomplish, to bring the economy up, to bring jobs back to this country, to build that wall, to hold people accountable on both sides. I mean, what else do you guys want us to do? We'll read a few more. This wasn't planned. I do these so you guys know me on how I think, because for far too long we actually see individuals running for office who will appear right when they got to get the signatures, right when they have to start campaigning. They just show up out of nowhere and they got a name. And we have people posting things left and right. Oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But they're not really fighting and say, oh, I'll fight. What are they doing? I have individuals saying, I'm going to fight for our president. I'm going to fight for our community. What are you doing to improve the community? Are you sitting behind the keyboard just saying, hey guys, here's my voice, here's my opinion? Or are you putting your boots on, rolling up your sleeves, getting out there and improving your community? Because it's the little things that matter. This last Saturday, we had an event for Sleep in Heavenly Peace, the Mahoning County chapter, and we raised funds for them. If you guys don't know, I spoke about them quite a bit. They actually are an organization that builds beds for kids who are sleeping on the floor. No child should ever sleep on the floor. That's one small thing that we can do to make our community better. We have victims of sex trafficking right on Belmont Avenue. There's a building right there. Gonna go ahead and get in contact with them this week to see what I can do to help them. Help our community. Put a smile on someone's face. Do whatever you can to help out our community. Michael Jackson said it best in one of his songs. I don't know which. I think it was Magic Mirror or something like that. If you want to make a change, and I'm probably going to mess up this quote, it's time that you actually look in the mirror and start there. If you want to improve this area, stand up, look in the mirror, and that's what you need to start changing. We have all these keyboard warriors on both sides, Democrats and Republicans. Hey, Barbara. And make the change there. Do one thing. I had someone actually contact me. I'm not going to say their name. Said they're starving. They have zero money. They haven't eaten in about 3-4 days. I work. My wife goes to school, so I work full time. Christmas is right around the corner. I really couldn't afford it, but the guy's starving, so I gave him money. I can survive. We got raviolis and hot dogs and mac and cheese up in the cupboard. I can eat that instead. Instead of going to lunch tomorrow, I'll bring myself a sandwich for a couple days. Those are, heck, he probably didn't even have a sandwich. It's things we need to do, but we are become, as a society, too selfish to help out the person next to us. We just need to do one small random act of kindness, and that's where it starts. Yeah, Dean, I don't know. I know Cleveland's post office. I heard it. I was at work today, and I saw all the issues that were going on with, the mail not being out in time. Some people aren't going to get their things, presents or whatever for Christmas. But yeah, they got the votes handled perfectly fine. Michael, Michelle, Randall. Oop, almost spilled that. Trudy, thanks for joining. All I'm asking is that you guys we have to step up as a society and improve. I'm not saying ignore the election. I'm not saying don't support Trump. Definitely support him. If you want to support him, support whoever you want to support. I won't kick you to the curb. If you like Biden, I don't care. Give me a call. We'll have a beer. I don't care. I'm not going to let your political beliefs stop me from being your friend. Now, there are some people who are a little crazy. If you're one of my friends and you hate, I actually do have a friend that I work with who is all about ensuring that AR-15s get taken off the market. We definitely don't agree on that because I have a couple. I definitely think our Second Amendment rights cannot be infringed and we should be allowed to have our Second Amendment rights with no questions asked. But I'm not just going to ignore him because we have a disagreement on something. I don't know why we're doing that as a society. Now, when I get elected, no matter what position it's in, I'm not just going to ignore the Second Amendment. I will still fight the Second Amendment on how I explain it to you. I will ensure our Second Amendment rights are not infringed. And he knows that. He's like, I'm against AR-15s. He knows I am not. I think we should be allowed to have them. And he knows that if it came between us two debating over the issue, that I would still debate it this way, no questions asked, but we would still be able to get a drink afterwards. That's what we're missing in society. Dean, you're right. Bills aren't coming to our mail late. It's the same concept, man. It's like, okay, we got Browns fans, we got Steelers fans. Everyone knows that I'm not really a Browns fan or a Steelers fan. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a Patriots fan. Or I was. till they all started kneeling and I just don't even watch sports anymore. Period. Doesn't mean we're not gonna talk to them. I mean, yeah, we'll talk crap, we'll kind of do the whole sportsmanship. Let's give them a hard time, but we'll laugh about it and joke about it, just like the military does. We make fun of the Army, we make fun of the Air Force, we make fun of the Navy, we make fun of the Coast Guard because they think they're a military branch, and they make fun of us Marines. They call us jarheads, they call us crayon eaters. So what? We're not going to hate them because they have different views. They're still our family. We're all Americans. We need to start acting like it. Go for your beliefs without acting like children, like the Democrats have. And not all Democrats are, but you have to understand that 90% of all the Democrats have actually been acting like children, burning down the cities, tearing down monuments. It's our history. What are you doing? We're going to change the Cleveland Indians because it's offensive to Indians. But yet we're going to keep Notre Dame the Fighting Irish. I'm Irish. I'm offended. Change it. Do you think I'm really offended? No, I don't care. The Indians have even said, we actually like the fact that it's the Cleveland Indians. It shows respect. Are we going to change the San Francisco 49ers? It's offensive. Why aren't we changing the Cowboys? I wish, John, I could find that link. Yeah, he's a liberal, but the way he was an actor on how America's not the greatest country in the world. It was a movie. I'll try finding it. If you find it, show it up I'm on Facebook. And show it up on YouTube, it's fine. I'll actually transfer it over to Facebook. But I don't even know what movie it was, but he was asking, what makes America great. And this one guy was saying freedom of freedom, but really 180 nations out of 207 sovereign nations actually have freedom. So it's like, how can you say America's great because we have freedom when 180 other countries have freedom? You guys know what I'm talking about. We'll play it. But we need to start, excuse their expression, we need to start manning up. We need to start growing a spine, standing up for what's right, calling us out without fearing being degraded by somebody else. Now, everyone knows I've actually talked not negative, but I've called out Republicans. And most of Republicans don't like me doing that. But we have to call ourselves out. Doesn't mean we still don't support them. I have family members. They're all Democrats. My mother, my aunt, my uncle. One uncle is a Republican. My brother is a Republican. That's about it. Everyone else is Democrats. I still love them. They're my family. I'm not going to shun them. And the fact that we are doing that as a nation is part of the problem. We are part of the problem. We need to fix that. Agree to disagree. Fight for your beliefs without degrading someone else. Yeah, I'll pull that up. It was about vaccines. I think I actually deleted it. All right. Not deleted it, but I removed the website. I got to pull up. It'll be a pain. It'll take too much time. All right. You guys know the COVID vaccine's coming out. You guys know about the side effects? Because apparently there are no side effects because they're not listing them. I think they need to make it aware. They should be. They have to make all the side effects noted so everyone knows what they're putting inside their body. You guys know that you can get, I think it's called EB, from the flu shot. You know how many side effects there are with the flu shot? Now the flu shot, yeah, everyone's saying there's no issue with it, but some people have side effects. Memory loss, numbness. I'm not just in the shot area, but actually numbness and whole entire body, neurological issues. It's a side effect. Knowing that, do you want to put that in your body? And that's just a flu shot. Look at all the side effects with the COVID. Oh, that's right. It hasn't been vetted long enough for you to actually determine what type of long-term side effects actually is there. When I was in the Marine Corps, we actually were given the anthrax shot. We actually had to sign a waiver saying, we don't know what the side effects are or long-term are. However, you need to take this or you're going to be dishonorably discharged. Well, now, here we are in 2020, they're coming out with long-term side effects. Memory loss, depression, PTSD, whole bunch of other issues that are going to that are coming out. Now, if you're going to take the vaccine, that's fine. It's your right. You won't see me hinder you, Barb, and I respect you. You are making a decision. You're an adult. You're allowed to make that decision upon yourself. I personally just want to wait. That's all. I have no problem getting a vaccine. I just prefer to wait. I don't like things that are too new. That's just me personally. But you're not going to see me hinder you or try to stop you from actually getting it. Yeah, I think I had the COVID. I know I said it 1,000 times back in February last year, before the shutdown occurred, before all that stuff happened, where I had the body aches, I couldn't get warm, the flu, the cough. Cough lasted like 4 to 6 weeks. It was ridiculous. I felt like complete crap. I actually went home to work early one day, but then I was in work the next day just because I go to work if I'm sick. Now I don't, obviously, but that's how society was. We still worked. We had a headache. We had a small cold. We still went to work. We had to fight through it to provide for our family. Dean, exactly. The anthrax, smallpox, vaccine, all that stuff. I mean, I just prefer just to wait. So this was just gonna be a quick talk, but the main point of this talk was to let you guys know is like, listen, I definitely support our president. I support the Republican Party. However, I am getting extremely disappointed in the majority of the Republicans not saying anything, not standing up for our president who stood up for us. They're not doing what they were actually elected to do. Ghosting. They're ghosting us. They're not talking about what's going on. They're not letting us know what their views are on certain issues because they're scared that they're going to lose the next election if they voice their opinion. That's why they're elected. Voice your opinion. That's why I'm doing this video. I want there to be no question, no ifs, ands, buts about it on where I stand on what and how I will tackle a problem. I will fight for the people. And I actually want to see somebody. I would love to see another Republican say, if I had to choose between the people and the Republican Party, I would choose the people. Because I know I'm grabbing something because I'm getting mad. I would love to see our elected officials say, if I had to choose between our current party that we're in and the people, I would choose what's best for the people. It's plain and simple. Both parties claim that they're there for the people, but yet they're looking out for their self-interest. They're not looking out for the people. If they were, they would have settled this fraudulent election. Both the sides would have came in, both sides said, okay, you think it's fraud? Let's investigate it. Bam. And get this done. And we'll focus on what else is important, like our education, our kids, our future, our roads, our businesses being shut down. Because while our views are on the presidential election, we're over here. Now we're looking at the presidential election and everyone's like fraud, 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 fraud. Well, we're over here. There's another business that's bankrupt. Oh, but fraud is important. It's important. Fraud. Well, here's another business that's bankrupt. There's more businesses that are leaving, that are shutting down. Shutting down. Oh, look, here's some more people being kidnapped for sex trafficking. That's okay. It's not important. The election is. We need to be able to tackle all these issues at all fronts. We can't just focus and have tunnel vision on one sole issue. If that makes any sense, guys. And I know it does. We can't. We need to focus on it and bring it to light, but we cannot neglect all these other issues that are causing our nation to go down. We are not the best country in the world anymore. I mean, that's the best way to solve a problem, is to acknowledge an issue. I mean, it's all there. The first step to solving a problem is acknowledging it. Our nation was on track to be the best in the world, and then all this crap started to happen. So what are we going to do to keep us on track? What are we going to do to put us on track? What are we going to do to make us the best nation in the world again? To make America great again? COVID kind of put a stop to that. We were on the fast track. We were on, we had that speedy pass you get from like Disney World. We had that speedy pass. We're on our way up, and then COVID hit. We're going down. Trump stopped it from going steep down and gradual decline because things happen. We shut down the nation. Businesses are being shut down. People are losing their jobs, but we're trying to, in essence, not trying to steal DeWine's little make-up mind, but we're trying to flatten that little curve and actually bring it back up. But we got to slow the decline and actually bring it back up. That's what Trump wants to do. That's what we need to do as a people. We need to stop looking at these individuals to solve the problems, because clearly our elected officials are not solving the problem. I have not truly seen any elected official actually fight for the people my entire life, except for Trump. Does he have his own personal agenda? I'm sure Trump does. I'm sure he has some personal agenda, but it's not there to take over the world. He's not there to 100% look for self-interest. For anyone to do anything, they have to have some self-interest involved. Everyone does. Why do you look for a better job? Because you want a better job, or because you want to better your current situation? In essence, also help everybody else. There's always a personal agenda in everything everyone does. It depends on how much of a personal agenda it is. If you look at the Democrats like Nancy Pelosi, it's about 99.9% all what will benefit her, and there's probably like a 0.000001 that's truly for the people. Same thing with AOC. She's got even a lower percentage on what she actually really wants to do for the people. The rest of it is self-interest. We need to elect individuals in office who have more of an interest in helping us than helping themselves. We are going to do another fundraiser, yes. I'm working with, if anyone doesn't know, David Burham. His book will be epic, yes. Ian, you're right. I'm going to be working with David Burham. I mean, if you guys don't know, he works with the USS Oklahoma. It's a ship that went down during Pearl Harbor, and they're trying to identify the bodies and return them to their family. They're running out of funds. So we need to do what we can to help raise funds so that way we can identify these bodies and give them back to their families. Why isn't that a priority? Are you bleeping kidding me? We had to create an organization to help identify our soldiers to bring them back to their families. That is ridiculous. We're also going to work on another one for the VFW for Hubbard. We definitely need to help out our veterans. So if anyone has any questions about if you want to help out, let me know. Shoot me a message, 330-531-1007, or shoot me a message on Facebook. Be more than happy to talk about anything you guys want. Or if you have a charity in mind, let me know. We'll help raise some money. Hey, every dollar counts, and it's the only way that we're going to start with the little things and improve our area. I'm tired of waiting for our officials to actually do it, because they're clearly not. Let's do it ourselves. We are in charge of our government. We are in charge of our own lives, not the other way around. Your healthcare, Barb? I just saw that. Yeah, my wife is well, as you guys know, she's going to nursing school, so she's probably gonna be forced to take it as well. I really don't want her to. She doesn't want to either, but she's going to, and we're just gonna have to hope that nothing bad happens. But Barb, you're in healthcare. I want to say thank you. I appreciate you stepping up to the plate and putting yourself in harm's way. Not just because of COVID. There was thousands of diseases out there already. You've been putting yourself in harm's way before COVID even occurred. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for putting other people's needs above your own. Much respect. So thank you. So with that being said, unless anyone else has anything, I definitely appreciate you all joining. Let your friends know. Pass the word. If you guys know my professional page, share it, like it, let your friends know. Let's get a lot of people following, because the election is actually right around the corner. Which election? We're waiting to see what happens with the lines. We all know the 2020 census happened. So we're going to see how they're going to draw the lines, whether it's congressional, state rep, whatever. I want to help out each and every single one of you. I want to do what's best for our area and improve. I'll start small if I have to. That's perfectly fine. As I said, we got to start small. All right. So God bless you all. God bless America. Thank you. This speech is actually 6 minutes. If you want to watch it, it's fine. If not, the link's there. You guys can watch it later. All right. Thank you all. God bless you all. And God bless America. Thank you. That's not it? Hold on. That's apparently a, come on. It's an ad. It's a YouTube video. So we'll do this. There we go.
Every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made. And a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better. To pass SEAL training, there are a series of long swims that must be completed. One is the night swim. Before the swim, the instructors joyfully brief the students on all the species of sharks that inhabit the waters off San Clemente. They assure you, however, that no student has ever been eaten by a shark, at least not that they can remember. But you are also taught that if a shark begins to circle your position, stand your ground. Do not swim away. Do not act afraid. And if the shark, hungry for a midnight snack, darts towards you, then summons up all your strength and punch him in the snout, and he will turn and swim away. There are a lot of sharks in the world. If you hope to complete the swim, you will have to deal with them. So if you want to change the world, don't back down from the sharks. Over a few weeks of difficult training, my SEAL class, which started with 150 men, was down to just 42. There were now 6 boat crews of 7 men each. I was in the boat with the tall guys, but the best boat crew we had was made up of the little guys, the Munchkin crew, we called them. No one was over 5'5". The Munchkin boat crew had 1 American Indian, 1 African American, 1 Polish American, 1 Greek American, 1 Italian American, and 2 tough kids from the Midwest. They out-paddled, outran, and outswam all the other boat crews. The big men in the other boat crews would always make good-natured fun of the tiny little flippers the Munchkins put on their tiny little feet prior to every swim. But somehow these little guys from every corner of the nation and the world always had the last laugh, swimming faster than everyone and reaching the shore long before the rest of us. SEAL training was a great equalizer. Nothing mattered but your will to succeed, not your color, not your ethnic background, not your education, not your social status. If you want to change the world, measure a person by the size of their heart, not by the size of their flippers. The 9th week of training is referred to as Hell Week. It is 6 days of no sleep, constant physical and mental harassment, and 1 special day at the Mud Flats. The Mud Flats are an area between San Diego and Tijuana where the water runs off and creates the Tijuana Sloughs, a swampy patch of terrain where the mud will engulf you. It is on Wednesday of Hell Week that you paddle down to the Mud Flats and spend the next 15 hours trying to survive the freezing cold, the howling wind, and the incessant pressure to quit from the instructors. As the sun began to set that Wednesday evening, my training class, having committed some egregious infraction of the rules, was ordered into the mud. The mud consumed each man till there was nothing visible but our heads. The instructors told us We could leave the mud if only 5 men would quit. Only 5 men, just 5 men, and we could get out of the oppressive cold. Looking around the mud flat, it was apparent that some students were about to give up. It was still over 8 hours till the sun came up. 8 more hours of bone-chilling cold. The chattering teeth and the shivering moans of the trainees were so loud, it was hard to hear anything. And then one voice began to echo through the night. One voice raised in song. The song was terribly out of tune, but sung with great enthusiasm. One voice became 2, and 2 became 3, and before long, everyone in the class was singing. The instructors threatened us with more time in the mud if we kept up the singing, but the singing persisted, and somehow the mud seemed a little warmer, and the wind a little tamer, and the dawn not so far away. If I have learned anything in my time traveling the world, it is the power of hope. The power of one person, a Washington, a Lincoln, King, Mandela, and even a young girl from Pakistan, Malala. One person can change the world by giving people hope. So if you want to change the world, start each day with a task completed. Find someone to help you through life. Respect everyone. Know that life is not fair and that you will fail often. But if you take some risks, step up when the times are the toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never ever give up. If you do these things, the next generation and the generations that follow will live in a world far better than the one we have today. And what started here will indeed have changed the world for the better.